Hey there, viewers, welcome back to the Self-Made Auto Channel. Got us a 2017. It's the Jeep. It's the Renegade. It's got the 2.4 multi-air, and it's got no AC. So I looked at it, and it's got a few leaks. It's a 1234YF refrigerant in this, and one of the hoses that hooks to the condenser in the front is leaking. And then, oddly enough, they made it looks like the high-pressure liquid line on this thing. They made it out of plastic. So naturally that's also leaking. Step one, remove the tire. Step two, we need to get the bumper cover off. So we're going to take some screws out of this thing because we've got to pull the fender liner out because we've got to take the fender flare off. And I'll tell you right now, folks, and I'm sorry if it offends you, but these cars are junk. They're a one-time use, throw it away, never to be used again, Fiat. And their plastic is terrible. You will break some clips taking this off, so be prepared. Cover your eyes if you got to, but it ain't gonna be pretty. Another screw down here. It's kind of sad, really, for the price they get for these junkers. But this thing's only got 20-some thousand miles on it. There's the screws. Now we'll need a 10 mil. Prior to doing that, there is one. Oh, never mind. I guess we don't need the retaining tool, but yeah, there's one push retainer down here in the bottom. It wasn't even clipped in on this thing. So we're going to just pull that out so we don't lose it. I don't know if it was ever in from the factory. Anyhow, so there's one of those. Then we'll take the 10 mil, preferably on a 1/2-inch gun, because it's convenient. We're going to peel all these little plastic retainers off. Don't go hog wild if you are using a 1/2-inch gun, but peel all those nuts. And I think that's it for this. Could be wrong. Yes, there's one other screw up underneath here. Straight up under the bumper cover. Can't miss it. Right by the front mud flap. I didn't feel like raising the car up, so you're going to get the crappy angle, but I think it's probably the only screw down here. They use minimum hardware on these things, trust me. But yeah, just another one of those Phillips head. Now I think we're okay. So you're going to have to pull it off these studs. It's pretty easy to manipulate. Now we can see what we need to see. So here's the problem, my guy. We've got to get the fender liner off, or the fender flare off, to get to the screws that hold the bumper cover on. But these clips, even look at them suckers cross-eyed, they break. So we're going to try our best effort to not break them by giving them a pre-squeeze to get them to pop out. What they're going to break, some of them are going to break, so get past it, okay? We'll have to get some new ones. Find out which way they squeeze here. The white ones come out harder, or better than these green ones. But if we can get our tool back in here, there's one. We might get lucky. And then the plastic also on these is very easy to dent and mar up. So you got to kind of be careful where you're in here prying. Baby, there's two of them. Let's see if we can't reach in here a little bit deeper. If we get them off without breaking them all, I'll be excited. Get this wedged up in there. Man, I should have got a regular pair of needle nose. I'm kind of fumbling with these offset ones. There's that one. Service data does not tell you to do this, just FYI. They just tell you to get a plastic trim tool and pull. But that's not how we do things here. Man, the camera's right in my stinking way. Let's see, we'll get up on that there and everything. Boom, okay. So, once you got the old green weenies loose, then you gotta come up to the white ones, which we shouldn't need a trim tool for. Let me reposition you. Hopefully you can see, but we're just going to put a little out tension on this and then give them a little what, and then give this one a little what for, and then we just got to kind of work your way around. Don't pull on this fender too hard. This thing is made out of tin foil. So if you can easily dent it, mess it up, but we're just going to go along. Keep giving these a squeeze and pulling them through, and be a lot less casualties. If you make little grunting noises when you do it, it helps too. If you're like, you know, stuff like that, I find that helps a little bit here and there. Boom, 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 like a boss. We're doing this. So anyhow, I just wanted to give you this free tip for you. Not trying to pick on the Jeep Patriot owners, trust me. It's just sad how they make these. Oh, look at that. The bottom one came out. I can't believe it. Hallelujah. That's how you know you're living right, boys. And then this one I don't know. We might not be living right to get this one out. This is kind of a pain in the hoo-hoo. Right in my hoo-hoo. We got to reach down here, give the little tab a flick. Gosh, there's... You just got to work it. Say that too. Say it when you're pulling it. Like, work it, girl. Not happening, fella. Gosh, these things suck. There it is, boys. Somebody's already been here. This thing, this clip's all tore out. We weren't, oh, you guys can't even see crap. This clip down here, this green one that's on this paneling, it must have been whacked because that one's all kind of ripped out. And that makes me wonder why this white one was out on the very bottom. This is the one that usually breaks because, I say usually like I do these every day. It's the one that's most likely to break because you can't get to it. So you just gotta, you know, pull, snap. But this is all chowdered up through here. Looks like she's been that way for a little while there. Then we will peel off these two bolts here, the 7mm variety. And everything we're doing on one side, you do on the other side, okay? That's how come I come over here and it looks like I know what I'm doing. I go break everything over there, come over here and be like, ah, I'm an expert. So there's that. Let me go get the ones loose off the other side, and there's some bolts across the bottom, some bolts across the top, and we pull. So usually to get the bumper covers off, you just grab them. Most cars, you just grab them and push like this. But I'm a little hesitant here. Got my hand back here behind it so I can kind of push up near where the tabs are. Like I say, it's just my experience with these that the plastic is very, very brittle. So we're going to leave that about there. Whoa! Got some mouse damage here, folks. Hungry little fella. And that's interesting. I noticed on the other side, when I took that fender liner out, somebody changed this whole harness. A lot of butt connectors over there, but I'm wondering if this is what happened, or if the little mouse got in there and it was num 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 num. I suppose while we're right here, we'll unplug it. We could probably get one of those connectors right from NAP, and we'll unplug these lights too. So that's just a standard H11 bulb. Right? Yeah, that's all that is. They're all H11, so we should be able to get one of those connectors and not have to order it from Dodge because little fella ate her up there at the plug. So underneath it here is a bunch of broken Torx bits there. See, spun that right off the big 1/4 inch gun. The old Max socket couldn't handle it. Try to be a nice guy, use 1/4 inch drive. We're going to switch to the 3/8 Nano with the Astro 27 T27 in the reverse direction. Are those 30? They might be T30. You stand by, folks. Take 3 action. T30, as I mentioned. Still no excuse for the Mac one to explode. Oh, these are going to be fun. That one snapped clean the off. Let's see. Great. Let's get some Panther pee. Removing the 4 bolts, take 4. We'll spray some Panther pee on it. Give her 10-15 seconds to do nothing, and then we'll try again. Imagine trying to take these cars apart after a few New York winters. Ain't gonna be pretty. I don't know why I'm spraying it with more, but we are. Let's give her a handy, see what it feels like. Let's see. Oh, them bolts must be just soft as mashed potatoes because these aren't really turning that hard. And an impact is usually more forgiving than trying to get after it with a ratchet because this is just a continuous torque, and you know the impact is, you know, ugga dugga dugga dugga. And usually if a bolt's stuck, you have a better chance getting it out with an impact than you do you know, giving it a handy. So, okay, so this outer one, she's feeling a little rougher. This one just takes all the junk from the wheel. So we're gonna go back with the impact, and we're just gonna just feather this baby. Let's build a fastener with a gigantic head and little tiny threads. What we'll do, we'll go down through here, give them the no mercy reversies with the impact and work them out. Hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Boom, 3 out of 4. We should just snap the other outer one off so it's even. This one felt a little tight. It's gonna pop her in reverse there, but we're good. 4 out of 5. Let's give the broken one some Panther Pee. Let that soak and it'll fall right out. It's either turning or breaking, one or the other. Either way, I'm happy with it. Cause I got a plan B, as always. All right, yeah, I think she's moving now, boys. We're gonna stick the old 4.75 millimeter twist socket on there. Give it a reversey. Look at that. Boom, there's the broken piece, she's out. We saved the day. We're gonna have to order one of those and a few clips. So kind of the same thing here across the top. We will do ginger. That wasn't real ginger, dude. We're gonna skip one. Put the cart ahead of the horse here a little bit. We don't want that to come loose. We got a couple clips here, and then the hood release lever. I just said lever. What are these? T25. We won't use the impact on these ones. Probably should just be able to get them by hand here, I'm thinking. We got a ratchet just in case. Mother pearl, there we go. We got her. So there's that. These are the Astros. Maybe I haven't mentioned it. I've used these in the past. You can buy the set of them. I've used them a lot, and they work quite well. It takes quite a bit to break them in comparison to your regular chrome jobbies you get like from Mac and Snap-on, which tend to explode when you stick them on an impact. These work pretty good. I can vouch for them. You got my personal vouch reference, I guess. So now we're going to work out getting this cable off. A couple little clips here. And then stick this to the side. They have a very overcomplicated latch system. It's a, you know, it's a latch here, latch there, everywhere, latch. It's very chintzy, and I can clearly see it's already broken. So I don't want this cable to get any more broke. Frustrating, folks. We're gonna grab this tool right here, and we're gonna pop these clips out right here. There's one on either side of the headlight. So we're gonna work these up and out. Save them. There's 4 in total. We're gonna leave that one alone because that one's gonna break. We'll come here. That one broke. Like I say, some of this stuff is quite frustrating because it is so cheap. Unfortunately, a lot of customers, you know, they don't know when they're buying these cars either. That, I mean, unless they come here and I give them my opinion. But, you know, opinions are like armpits, baby. Everybody's got one. Some of them stink. Okay, there we go. Now we can take the last bolt out over this direction. And we'll pull this off, hopefully without casualties. We must be missing something here, folks. It feels like there's something right here. Gotta make sure I've got all the clips on the bumper cover. Gosh, I hate doing that. Okay, so all the clips are released. The top half is loosey-goosey. Let's look on service data to see if we're missing something or if we just need to, you know, get after it. So this is just about handy. There is a metal retainer. I believe it's metal. And we can't get to it, so it's probably gonna break. They just tell you to use a plastic trim device. Like this, they say that. Use a plastic trim device and stick it in here and pull. Well, you know darn well if I do that, it's definitely gonna break. I was hoping that I could get down here with a pick, well, kind of prying out on it, and use the pick to help release it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to move you and get over there, and then even if it goes bad, I'll tell you, hey, it went super smooth. But let's try it here. So I get something in here I can hold tension. Oh, look at that, it actually popped loose. Wow, first time in my life. Okay, yeah, baby. Let's go try that on the other side. Better go get the very lovely Mrs. O.
Looks like they've run a mouse at this one.
There is some mouse damage we found underneath. Oh, that would have been a great time for the plastic to break with the noisy truck driving by.
Instead of right now when it's
Instead of
quiet.
right now when it's going to be quiet. Ah, baby! She went. Alright, so. Got a hold, little fella. Boom, there it is. It's a Jeep thing, you wouldn't understand, folks. Bring this over here. We're going to pull the lid off this thing, so this little fella right here, which I think we have to take this bolt out for. At this point, we're just winging it now. So there's that. So we're going to go stick this somewhere. But yeah, as Mrs. O was saying there, the hood blanket got chewed up a little bit. Right there out of frame where you can't see it. It appears to me that we have to remove the air cleaner to get to where the lines go back there, and plus what it's covering up over here on the passenger side. There's no hose clamp there, it's just a like a CV boot style clamp. We've got the breather hose down here where it hooks to the throttle body. It looks like probably the 7 or the 8 mil variety. And this thing here, I don't know why I've got the hook. Looks like you just give it the old spreadaroo. That pops off. Hose feels about like Jello. And this looks like it's probably just a couple rubber clips. Got a connector here on the air intake sensor. Let's get a socket or something for down in there. So she's a 7 mil. Get down here and just get this loosened up. That should be loose enough. Clamp looks pretty jiggly. Get our socket back. Come on, baby! And then it looks like a 10 mil over here. That holds that tube on. We should be loose down here though. Oh yeah, that's loosey-goosey. Oh, and there is this tube here, looks like a coolant line must be. And that hooks on here somehow. I have to figure out how this comes off. Certainly don't want to break it. There's that, so that should be all loose there. Figure out how this coolant line comes off. Oh, it looks like your classic little clicker thing. It's like your reusable zip tie type thing. I don't know, hard to explain here. Maybe I'll get her out and I can show you if I can get it undone all the way. There she is. Now she's unclipped. You heard it, you know, zip. That's the official sound it makes. Fantastic plastic, baby. Just like a Corvette. Only a little crappier. We can try to take the screws out of the air filter here. They'll probably all want to snap off. Oh, that one's coming. Alright, that one came out. Let's see what happens down here. Oh, she's going to snap the head off. Oh, she's going. Woo! It's super tight. Usually you touch these things, it just breaks the heads off them. Like I say, these are big time just throwaway car, folks. A lot of rust coming out of that. Even in New York, the plastic gets rusty. Let's try this one. Usually the Jiffy Lube has these so stripped out, it doesn't matter anyways. You got to make sure you've got a good fitting number 2. Oh, there we go. There's that. Right there. We'll take this. We'll leave that right there. Like I say, we'll get out the pick so we can make sure we rip it. We don't want to rip it, but there's a crack loose on it. There we go. Woo! See, nice. Oh, sweet baby. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We're going to take the little shark bite thing off there. Wiggle that. Oh, look at that. Nothing broke. Wow. That'll take a time. So there's one of those plastic nuts up here. Oh, I thought I can get it with my hand. We use a 1/2-inch strap ratchet on that. Oh, actually it's pretty snug. I think it's just one of those plastic ones. That'll get the rest of this air intake snorkel off. Might be a regular nut actually. Oh, it is. Okay, that's why I couldn't get it. So there's that. We'll just stick that nut back on there, and that's the rest of the little tube there. Now we're after what we came to get, which is the AC lines here. So we're gonna, I think these unscrew. Yeah, there we go. So they just go on the studs there. I believe it comes with the new ones. There's one retainer there and one retainer right here. Like I say, this AC line is plastic, so you know, who would have guessed it would have failed? Oddly enough, though, the aluminum one is the one that's leaking worse, but the plastic one is also leaking. It's kind of depressing because the fact of the matter is, in just a few more years, we're going to be right back in the same boat we're in right now, and then I'm going to look like the idiot because, oh, you just did that job. Well, sorry, Charlie. You know, it'll get the lady outside of our 1-year warranty. I mean, I hate to even say it like that, but it's just the cold hard truth. Just every few years she's going to have to do this if she wants AC, unless they improve upon the design. But high pressure switch, I believe that also comes with this line. But you know what I say? I didn't build it, I didn't buy it, I didn't break it, except for that one clip in that bolt that I broke. But it's not my problem. The clip-in stuff, I'll take care of that, don't you worry. Oh, where's my extension? Found it. There's the ratchet right on the floor where I left it. And we've got a 5mm Allen. Get right up in there. Then you say the please don't break chant. You ready? Please don't break, please don't break. Oh, okay, it didn't. See, it works. Make sure that you've evacuated your system in accordance with state, local, area, federal, EPA law. This is the 1234YF system. You don't want to be blasting this stuff off into outer space, even though it has positive effects on the environment. It does not kill polar bears. We still don't want to waste it because it is, at the current time, in the year 2022, where's my ratchet? what was I going to tell you? Oh, it's like it's almost $700 for 10 pounds. We're going to take the upper line off here, which is leaking way worse. This line is actually leaking so bad here. Unfortunately, I do not know, because I foolishly didn't spray it down to find out if the AC condenser itself's leaking, if it's just at this connection, but the whole thing is covered with dye and oil, and it's a big sloppy mess. And it looks like the epicenter is right here. So we're gonna get these lines swapped out and get her done. We'll have to retest it. I really want to take some brake clean and just blast all this off, but it's not a good idea because that's going to screw with our leak detector. I think I'm going to reach right in here while whispering into your ear. We're going to crack this baby loose using our inverted Torx right off the top of the compressor. Probably should be using an air tool at this point. But we're going to take this bolt out because I think it's going to be easier to get to right here. And it was actually faster than an air tool. Take that, boom, there's the bolt there. Wiggle these little guys loose, shouldn't be a problem, shouldn't have any suction or anything on them. So leave those sit right there, and I think everything else is done from up top. So what we're after now is this holder here, and then this holder down here, and they have those gray flatheads just like they did on the outer ones that we did there. I'm gonna put you down. You're gonna have to trust me. I'm gonna get a little flathead in here. This one's on an angle. That's kind of obnoxious. There is a bracket. I wonder if it's taking the bolt, that single nut there off the bracket right there. I wonder if that there would make more sense. I don't know. Let me get down here. I don't know where that bracket goes. Probably wraps onto something else. Who the heck knows? Let me see what I can do there, folks. You stand by. I think this has a little clampy doodad on it. We might be able to come right in here, give it one of these, pop it open. Boom, just like that. And then I think what we'll do, let me get the bolt here and or the thing they call the nut off from the expansion valve and get the suction line out of there. At least get it loose, get it back out of the way. So it bolts to the expansion valve back here with just the 10 mil socket size, 6 millimeter thread. I'm gonna undo that. Baby. That one is loosey-goosey. Yay. What do we got here? We got some fuel lines, boys. We're gonna have to unhook those because this line, well, I suppose we could probably bend it. It is rubber, but I'm thinking it'll be a little more friendly for us. I'm trying to pick my path in which we're gonna come out. So this one's straight up over here. We can head out this direction over here. I think we're gonna go right out and down this way. But I'm thinking to get this one out, we will need to do something different. There are some connectors over here. I'm unhooking a connector. I don't know what it goes to, but I'm unhooking it. We've got the high pressure hookup for our plastic line. I'm gonna undo it. You're gonna get the play-by-play, folks, because I didn't move the camera. And we're just gonna use some common sense. We're gonna look and see what's in the way. We're gonna get that kind of stuff out of the way. It is kind of nice with the line being plastic, I'm not gonna lie. Because you can just kind of like, what, you need to go that way? Boom, bend it. Okay, so I think, well, I'll give you the money shot when I'm ready to pull out, send it. I'm just looking to see what's gonna have to be undone. I'm thinking these fuel lines here, I don't know if it's fuel or EVAP. It looks like, I don't know if that's a high pressure fuel pump. I don't know if this is even GDI. I know it's not even a GDI engine. So it appears to be fuel. Of course, I don't want it, this is all plastic too, I don't want it to break any of these clips. So perhaps to save from breaking anything, because it is all quick connect, but it's the brakey kind, you know what I mean. It's the kind that are quick like the first time, and after that they're not so quick. So we're going to go that way. There is one wire clip here I need to go get a plastic trim tool to remove. I'll be honest with you, what I should have done is I should have looked in the bag to see what I bought from the dealer, and then I would have realized that this is a quick connect here on this AC line. Wow, more plastic on the AC. So this is a section of hose I bought. I didn't realize it didn't come with the back section. Live and learn. So we're going to set that to the side. Either way, we still had to crack this thing loose, I think, to gain access, to gain better access to our plastic one. So I'm not really ashamed of what I've done. I would admit it if I was. We're going to just set this up to the side now. And then I'm going to just work it out. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see where we're at here, but I'm just taking the line. I'm just getting it out of our way. It's not one that we're replacing today anyways. So here's this line. Boom, 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 ba-da, boo, boo, boo. Because with that line out of our way, it does give us much better access to our pressure side here. Set our extension down. Also has the 10mm sized nut that we're going to crack loose. And then see if we can get down here with our fingers and spin this thing off. A lot of sharp frickin' zip ties. Whoever the ding dong is at Fiat did not trim their zip ties, and they're like razor blades. It cuts you pretty good, boy. Razor blade, or those zip ties here, man. I got a pair of snap-on flush cuts for cutting those, and they're nice. Real nice. Nice for the next guy anyways. Alright, so there's that nut right there. Set that to the side. Come on, baby. Gosh, whoo, she had a good grip on that. So there. Now we'll go back down over here. I'll show you. We should be able to cut that loose too. Should be able to just reach down here with our pick. Try to get it where my hands are right in the way so you can't see it. And we should be able to just give this a little action. I have to move the light so we get some better action. I'll move my hand here for you just a minute. Nope, ha, failed you. I didn't move my hand, but I just went in with my pick and we cracked her loose, so trust me, folks. There it is, baby. There's your AC line. Plastic, kind of fun. Unfortunately, though, its connections where it joins into a T, it leaks. Where it hooks right here, it leaks pretty good. You can see some oil staining and stuff on it, but get the leak detector near it, and it went haywire. Oh, unenhanced. So that's that. And they had all this stuff in stock. Imagine that. Never seen it before, but they had it all. It's time, Mrs. O. It's at the 2-hour mark. Oh, baby. Remove the lid, Mrs. O. I'm ready. So good. Oh, baby, look at them. Oh, my God. You see that, Mrs. O? We like kings around here. And queens. And their children, they're kind of like peasants. Napa, not a sponsor, just your classic apple cider vinegar. And your charcoal pit barrel smoker. Not a sponsor, but they could be. Or any rib company. We are also accepting sponsorships from all rib companies. Briskets, things like that. Cover it up, baby. A couple more hours, we're eating dinner. I wish we started out this episode by saying, today's episode of SMA is brought to you by Pit Barrel Smokers and such beef rib fat. That would be awesome. Pork ribs, I guess they are. My baby backs. So it does come with that whole bracket, which we're going to elect to not use because we don't have to, and I don't want to get in there to take it out, but that's a fun little piece there. We'll set that over here. Oh, the Pit Barrel Smoker, let me tell you what, man, I got to sit in here all day smelling that thing. It makes it hard to work. I'm going to take and fish this line back through in the same manner in which we took it out, and whichever way that was, it was this way, just like so. That goes down there, this goes up here, this goes up to the top by the headlight, goes to the condenser, goes to the evaporator, to the expansion valve. Just gonna fish it back in there, get it back in its clips, and then I'll come get you. I'll tell you what, man, we do eat like kings around here. Not trying to brag. My wife's an excellent cook, and I like smoking, not the reefer, the food, and I love doing smoked stuff, briskets, pork butts, everything, you name it, tri-tips, whatever we got to do, we do it. Ribs are my favorite. I think we got it. You couldn't see any of it, but trust me when I say this, we got it. And got to get this up in here. That's right there. This one here and there, but we're not plugging that one in quite yet. We're not going to plug that in quite yet. I think I've got it clipped back in all of its holders. Now we still have to hook it to the expansion valve. Flammable, it says, flammable. I'm going to hook that back to the expansion valve. Difficult to see. Just says the one nut. Then we're going to stick the other hard pipe back in, and then we're going to get our new front hoses that we have. And then I think we're golden, baby. So the O-ring on this end still looks in beautiful condition. We're going to take and try to fish this through. I'm going to bring it down under the fuel lines. Just kind of want to hold this end, keep it from getting full of crud. But I need to pull it back out because there's a set of wires I need to go under over here. Come on, baby. We'll feed that around. I think we've got it right where we need it. I'm going to take, before we get any kind of contamination in, I'm going to hook it back to the expansion valve here. Probably going to need a two-hander for that one. So I make sure that O-ring still feels good, make sure it has some resistance when it clicks in, and it appears to. I'm going to get that nut. What nut? This nut! Get that back on there. Click this back in its holder, then we'll get the new lines for the compressor. Quick connect on AC, who would have thunk? See the double O-ringer. Should have our O-rings down here, we do. This is the connection up here that was leaking like a sieve. So that goes down here. That's going to go like that, then we've got our one line that we're going to take and bring around town. I think we'll probably be better served to hook that straight to our compressor without making a big old mess. So we're going to do that. I'm going to set this straight down and right onto the compressor. Boom, just like that. I'm going to get the bolt. I'm going to tighten that back up on the AC compressor. And then we can take the cap off the quick connect, bring it around town, give it the clicky, take our wiring harness that we unhooked earlier, stick that back in there. Plug it in out of whatever we unplugged it from. which is this connector right here. I don't know what it is or what it goes to, but that's good there. And then while we're right here, we can plug in our pressure switch. Click the red tab down, so that harness is all back how we need it, and then we just need to run our hose around to the condenser. Should be able to bring that right through there. There, skinny. And then that'll line up there. Perfect. Then it becomes a matter of just reattaching our lines. We got a torque wrench, and we're going to torque those to factory specs. We're going to lube up our rubbers there. Now the only thing we got to do now is start putting this thing back together. And I guess before we put, again, we're putting the cart in front of the horse. We're going to take and put the snorkel back under here, because I forgot like a ding dong. Then we can stick this baby in. I think we have to stick it on the snorkel first, which we did. Then we're going to do the 2 pegs up in the fender, and then we're going to do the peg here on the engine mount. Boom, just like that. She's ready to go. You got the little connector here, the little, I call them little shark teeth. Stick that on. And if when you pull them off, if the shark teeth flip around and go backwards, you got to straighten them out, because they're a one-way barb, so they grab on that piece, but sometimes they spread out. Then you got to straighten them up. Like your children, got to straighten them up once in a while. Otherwise, they grow up to be jerks. So now, let's see, we had 1 bolt that goes in there, which we have over there. We've got the reusable zip tie here that I showed you. I was going to tell you how it works, but you have to use your imagination. Bring this around. Get the reusable zip tie opened up. There's slid back over that. This is coming back over here. You got this on here, clicks on there. You've got the bolt. Stick that back in the hole. Get your reusable zip tie. Bring it around. Get it in your slot here. Give her a little ratchet. Come on, my guy. Oh, the next one I'm just going to break off. No, I won't. You know me. Click that in there. Now we've got to get back down with the 7 mil. I got to get a couple more clicks on that. 7 mil, 10 mil. Let's get this tightened up. At this point, folks, the engine's together enough to where it can run. The camera needs to be charged up here, so I'm going to take care of that. I'm going to pull the vacuum on the system, let that sit, take care of some tools, kind of get things cleaned up. We'll probably put a little charge in it before we put this whole mess back together, so we can make sure that we're cool and you know, we're happy and everything. And we still got to tighten up the 1 bolt there on the snorkel, so I'm going to do that. And you guys go get a sandwich or something. We'll be right back. Alright, we're going to let it take and charge up, and just put a small charge on it. And I wanted to be sure here because, like I say, this thing is so oily, and you can see how it's all oil soaked down in front of the condenser. I was 90% certain it was just that line, but I wanted to be 100% certain. I didn't want to clean any of this off with brake parts cleaner or anything, but now I can, and we can finish you know, charging the whole system here. It's balmy 76 degrees in here. 250 degrees in that drum outside. And let's see where we're at here. Hold on. Whoa! We're at 49.1, 48, 49.1 out of the center vents. Doors closed and stuff. So she's pretty bit chilly in there. It's about a 30-degree temperature differential, so that's good. This is our Robinair AC 1234-4 1234YF machine. Don't use this one a lot. Starting to see more of it. Did 3 of them today. So we are starting to use this some more, you know, but not as much as the old 134A machine. And then, of course, we've got the Robinair, the LD5. And this thing works great. Good for 1234YF and 134A, and works really, really well. And I just put a new, I had to put a new tip on it this year, new sensor. And the second part was the first one I ordered was no good, so I had to get a second one. But that's that. If you're looking for a good refrigerant detector, this one has my stamp of approval. We will finish you in the morning. I got distracted, had to help some other people out here. This thing's gonna get finished in the morning. It's time. We're at the 4.5 hour mark. Those ribs are done. I pulled them. Mrs. O's got them in here. And it is time for that money shot.
It's time?
It's time.
They've rested enough?
They've rested. I've rested. You've rested. We've waited.
You're gonna need the rest after you eat.
Trinity's getting mad because I keep delaying the time in which she can eat dinner. Mrs. O's got the homemade squash going on.
Homemade.
Yeah.
I can smell the ribs from the post.
You can smell them from the post. Oh, tell me what, kid. Let's have a little look. Let's go for the full look. There's our baby bats.
Oh, man.
Look at that. Boom. On the pit barrel cooker. Not a sponsor, but they're welcome to be a sponsor. If we were looking for any. Let's see what we got here. Let's get a fork. We've got some good pullback on the bone. I don't want to flip them over because they'll break. I need to set this down and we need to get it set up. Alright, come over here, Mrs. O. Let's, well, first you got to look at, come on, don't you watch any YouTube? You got to examine it. How's the bark? You got to talk about the bark. You got to look at the pullback. Then you want to give it the flop test. Just cut it. Just cut it.
Come on. Look, I just want to eat it. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah,
okay, now after you cut one, you got to look. We got a smoke ring. Then you squeeze it to get the juice. Man, you don't watch barbecue videos.
No, I don't know. Let's see. Is there a smoke ring? Yeah, there's a smoke ring. A little bit of a smoke ring.
Oh, you got to squeeze the juice.
I'll squeeze it with my teeth.
How is it?
Can I have this piece?
Is it amazing? Does it fall off the bone? You gotta see how good it pulls off the bone. Let's see. Boom, look at that. Right off the bone. Clean bone. In the Avoca smoker. Is that what you waited all day for? Some good stuff.
That's why I didn't go to Nana's.
Oh man.
Or else I would have gone this morning.
This is pretty legit. I gotta put this down. It's time. This is a Jeep video. What are we doing in here? This is all.
What?
We need you. I need you. The people need you. What about them ribs last night, huh?
Oh, man.
Oh, man. The next day, I feel like I should call them. It was that good. It's hold tight there. Whoa, you good? Seem kind of springy dingy. Golden. Where you going, old girl? Where you going? You want to talk to us?
What do you want to talk about?
Well, our last scene, it was yesterday. And we was eating them ribs. Man, that barbecue, man, that cannot be good for you, but it tastes so good.
It's definitely not good for you.
And sometimes it feels like regret, you know, the next day you're like, man, I shouldn't have done that. And then like 8 hours later, what are you doing? You're doing it again.
It's like drugs.
It is like drugs. We don't do drugs.
You got an addiction.
Get right there, we go. Oh, it's gonna ruin my physique. Is that what they call it? Anyhow.
Depends on what you're into, I guess.
What am I into? Being ran. Oh well. That's some good stuff though. I was telling people that if Pit Barrel wanted to sponsor us, they certainly could. We won't accept a sponsorship from Napa. But god dang, if a rib place wants to sponsor us, a couple cookers, maybe Lang, somebody like that, we will take that sponsorship. And we will fly their flag. Right? What did you click that in? Oh no. Alright, it's Friday.
Ooh. It's Friday.
It's Friday.
We get a long weekend.
Yep, and we got some more barbecuing to do. It's gonna be one of those days, isn't it? So we're gonna go ahead and put all the screws back in the bumper cover, minus the one we broke, because oddly enough, I can't have that baby for about a week or so from our local Dodge dealer. Oh, I give up. So I got the new connector there from Napa. I almost forgot. So we go to put this thing in. So we're going to put a little poly loom on it so it doesn't look so terrible. And, fancy it up a little bit here. So I'm going to put a little bit of tape on this. I used a little bigger poly loom so it would go over our crimp and seal connectors there. We'll tape it there. I'll tape a little bit on the end. Well, let's check, see if it plugs in, I suppose. All right, well, it fit, plugged in nicely. I don't think we're forgetting anything else. We'll get the plastic business back up in here. Put that behind there. Needs to go up under the lip. Under there. There's that one. There's those ones. And then wherever our fasteners are here, we've got all the, you know, these 10 mil plastic doodads that got to go back on here. We'll put these on, get them all snugged up. Not with the 1/2-inch gun though. We'll just give those a handy. We got our 10 mil nut driver. We'll take and run all of these on. So we've got 4 of those. We do have a plastic push pin that went down here in the bottom. If you remember right, this side wasn't hooked up. So we're gonna have to push that in. And then there's like 4 screws, I believe. There's 3 that are gonna go in the front, 1 that goes in the back down here, and 1 up underneath. So I'll get after that. You don't need to see it, pretty boring stuff. So if you guys remember it, this car has a little bit of body damage right down here, and you can see it underneath that whole pinch welch folded up in. So either somebody at the, you know, Jiffy Lube was picking it up there and crushed it all up in, but that's why this here was all messed up. So we're not even gonna bother trying to straighten any of that out. Not a body guy, you know. We're just gonna click it back together. So we'll get that bottom piece started first, and they all pretty much line back up. Just like Legos, baby. Reason number 420 why I don't work on European cars. Who the frig thought this was a good idea? Gosh, idiots. What's up, Mrs. O?
Bring your phone back, Tina.
We're going for a rip. Hey, you want to go for a rip there, bud?
Oh my god. Beautiful.
Hey, when did you get as tall as your mother?
She's tall. She's not as tall as me. No!
It's coming out at a balmy 44 degrees. It's about 78 outside right now. I lied, it's about 73 right now. I thought it said 78. He's holding pretty steady, about 44. So I think this guy will be happy. It should be nice and chilly in here for him. There you have it, folks. Pretty easy peasy job to do the AC lines here on your Jeep Liberty, Compass, Patriot, whatever this thing is, your Fiat. And it's not a CVT, I misspoke. And it didn't explode, and we made it all the way around town and back with no casualties. Everything went together good. Waiting on that bolt, and I think that's about it. We'll put that in next time this lady comes in for an oil change or something like that. So not a big deal there. We got 4 out of 5 of them back in, and we fixed her fog light, so that's good. Problem she didn't even know she had. And I don't know what else to say. Nothing more to say except to tell you to go in that comment section. That's right down there. You leave a comment, you leave a concern, you criticize the heck out of me, whatever you got to do it down there. The Insty, the Facebook. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.